Right, it is 8:30 on Monday morning. Got all the biscuits, and I'm about to start another rewire. The clients have moved out, which is dreamy. We've got a load of Cat 6 points going in, double sockets, which is the usual stuff. Then nothing being done in the conservatory, so I'm not touching that. The kitchen is going to be a future project, so I'm going to do my usual thing where I'm going to do drop 20mm conduits for sockets, future supply for oven, future supply for hob. Utility, again, load of dedicated radials in here, dedicated radials downstairs, dedicated radials for the utility, dedicated radial for the garage. I'm going to do some catenary wire, arm and cable, sockets and lights out there, spotlights everywhere here. The consumer unit, mains position is here. I'm going to put in a Luden fully loaded RCBO board there. And then there's, I think it's just a pendant and a socket in conduit in here, because it's going to be some kind of office, but they're not sure. So they may batten it out, so hence the conduit. Dedicated supply for the boiler as usual. Upstairs, we're having the double switch, one half for a couple of spots on the fan, the other switch for just a couple of spots. ACO smokes everywhere, multi-sensors and heats, sockets and Cat 6 points in all the rooms. Dreamy stuff, really. Couldn't be more ideal. Yeah, we're gonna put a conduit in here to do the boiler, move all the pendants to the center. So I'm gonna crack on, get the teas and coffees on for the lads who are on their way. And I'll probably see you in 8 hours time if you want, and I'll give you another run through of what we've been up to, what we got done in day one. Everything's been chased. The Cat 6s have been chased and wired. The upstairs lights have all been wired. Just got to box and cap them tomorrow. So tomorrow I've got to wire the downstairs sockets, the upstairs sockets. I've done the downstairs lights. Got to wire the 6mm for the hob, 6mm for the oven. Done the spotlights in the bathroom and the fan supply. Garage radial. Got to do the kitchen radial. There's all the lights there. Outside light I've drilled and done the chase there. Yeah, all packed up, tidied up. The smokes have been wired. I'm fitting a Luden board with the little surface pattress, fire suppression device, miniature RCBOs. So tomorrow we'll have this. We cut a slot here ready, to rod, because we're going to do downlights in here, and there's a supply out to the garage. Plus there's a dedicated radial for the utility room. Now done nothing in here really, just got the first sets of circuits back through that hole there. Oh, low battery. Going to drill through with a 32mm bit all the way through here, and then we'll drop down with some trunking or something into the pattress. I've just left the fridge on for tonight, and tomorrow we'll wire the kitchen hob, the kitchen oven, kitchen radial, utility radial, and the downstairs radial, and the garage radial, and start boxing the cap in. So Wednesday we'll start second fixing and fitting the board. But yeah, nice, good productive day today. Right, it is 4:30 on day 2 of this 3-bed rewire. All the cabling's in, outside lights in. Coming in, I've got all the capping has been done, lights have been done, all boxed and capped, all ready to start second fixing. Dedicated radial for downstairs, dedicated radial for upstairs, dedicated radial for the boiler, dedicated radial for the kitchen, dedicated radial for the utility, dedicated radial for the garage, upstairs lights, downstairs lights, and smokes. I think I've got everything. All my Cat 6 points are in, and box and capped. You can see down here, I've got 1 to 4. I'll terminate them into some RJ45 sockets. All box and capped in the dining room here. In the kitchen, I've got hob supply, oven supply, kitchen sockets. I've got some future supplies, which I I hadn't discussed with the client, but it's easy enough to do now. Whilst we're first fixing, I ran in a separate switch wire from the switch to do in case when they do the new kitchen, they want LED under cabinet lights. These are going to be just dropped in surface 20mm conduit because, as you can tell, it's not their final kitchen. They're going to refurbish it. They're not sure when. So I'm going to do 20mm conduit for the oven, 20mm conduit for the socket, and then the future hob will probably just be coiled up above the units there. Got our water bond in, water protected bond is in. This cutoff is just below us. It's lead to stopcock and then to copper. And we've got some kitchen sockets, and we've also got LED tape, just in case, or future LED cabinet lighting. All the downlights are in. I've gone for, how many's in here? 4, 5, 6, 7 downlights, kind of offset in here because of the staircase. Come on through to the utility room. Utility room, we've got light switch, downlights, because quite a low ceiling here, downlight, 4 downlights in here. We've got a dedicated radial in the back there for the utility, which they're going to have washing machine, tumble dryer. Outside, if you see, I've got my dedicated radial. See, there's conduit. I've done conduit through the fascia, straight into the ceiling. So there will be a whisker box, armor gland off, catenary wire straight across to the garage, drill through, and there's going to be a fuse spur in there to the lights, and there's going to be an indoor socket, and there'll also be down with a bit of tube on the inside, drill rear entry into an outdoor socket as well. As you can see, I've run all my cabling through. In here is going to be conduit again for a light switch. Run all the cabling through here. Run all the cabling through here. This is where our new board will go. I've got a Ludum board, all RCBOs with a like a spacer bracket. Bring them all in there. The gas is here, so that's nice and easy to do. I've got Cat 6 for the garage, where I think they're going to turn this into an office at some point. So that's if they want a internet point there. But yeah, let's take it upstairs. Upstairs, still got some of this carpet stuff down. I'll probably pull it up in a second. But day two of the rewire. Everything was chased yesterday and partially wired. Today it was completely wired and box and capped everything. All the wires are in. The carpets are down. I love this stage where the carpets are down because you know it's nice, clean work. But this is day 2. Everything's boxed and capped. The Cat 6s, boxed and capped. All the sockets, they're all between 450 and 1200. Box and cap. Spotlights are in, all wired. Got our supply for the, down here, we got our supply for the boiler. So that's going to be a bit of tube with a fuse spur, and we've got some thermostat controls to wire up. 2 ways, upstairs, downstairs, the usual script. But again, carpets are down. Carpets are down. Cat 6s, box and cap, day 2. So tomorrow, it'll be completely second fix tomorrow. One of us will be second fixing, another one doing the board. Oh, do you know what? I've missed a box. I've got 1 box to put in there. I've missed that one. I've missed one. I'll do that tomorrow. All the windows are shut. Lock all the doors. We'll get the board on tomorrow, get it all second fixed, and then any finishing off bits be done Thursday. Like, it's pretty good. I think that's pretty good graft. You might think differently, but I think that's pretty good for a couple of days graft. Right. Cheekily, as it's Easter holidays, I've actually got to spend time with my family and my kids and my wife. So I'm actually leaving my mates to finish this one off. So actually, they'll be second fixing it tomorrow. They'll be doing the board tomorrow. They'll be doing all the testing. They'll probably do that Thursday. Test it, label it, do the garage work. We won't be here Friday. And then maybe next week, I might pop by maybe Wednesday or Thursday next week, because they're getting the plasterers in. So Monday, Tuesday next week, the plasterers are coming in. So we've got to leave all the sockets all bagged up, hanging off the wall. And then when I come back Wednesday, Thursday, I'll do a quick run through and show you what it's looked like. So, but that's basically a full 3-bed rewire plus a garage and utility space, kitchen in 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say 5 days. Let's say 5 days. I think that's pretty good going. Here is the update of a job that you didn't want. Do you remember this rewire I was doing a couple of weeks ago? It took me 5 days to complete it. Pro Plastering have been in, Clayton and his team I've now skimmed everything with their spray-on plaster, and everything's been second fixed and tested. Just like I thought I'd give you a quick run around of what went on. As you can see, it's all just white. This plaster sprays on it, and it sprays on white, so it's like already got a mist coat and stuff. So they don't have to, like, they can leave it, or they can paint straight on it. There's all my Cat 6 stuff, all labelled up, and all the bedrooms, all tested with my Trend network tester, which is a fancy bit of kit. All the kitchen's all done. Up there, I've got the future hob supply, but here's the finished product. So we've just got a couple of lines of conduit tube, just because it's going to get updated in the future, and they don't know what they're going to do. So there's no point smashing the hell out of it and chasing everything in, just because it might move. It's all done. Nice, lovely job. The plasters are just upstairs tidying up now. This is a utility space now. Some spots in here, spots and stuff here. Now I know why you're all here is just to see the consumer unit. That's all you care about, if it's neat or not. So let's have a quick look inside. I didn't do this one. It was my mate who did it. So actually, what I should have said was, if it's really good, I did it. If it was rubbish, my mate did it because he was my subby. See, it's all nicely labelled. I've labelled the fire suppression device within, where the water protected bonding is, and where the gas protected bonding is, and also the smoke detectors. In that little bit of paper, that sticker that ACO give you, I've put what type of device it is and where it is. I don't know what you do, when it was installed, and how many there are on the circuit. You can see we've gone for a Luden consumer unit, surge protective device, miniature double pole RCBOs. Let's have a look inside. Whew. Oh wow! I even put on the tail onto the front of the consumer unit. There's our fire suppression device. So we've got our new 25mm tails, oven, and then various upstairs, downstairs, utility, garage radial, kitchen, boiler, lights up, lights down, and then smoke detectors. I run a smoke, so when I wire smokes, I wire a 3-core from the board out, just in case anyone wants a later addition, and it's nearer the consumer unit rather than out in the house. So you can run another 3-core from the board out rather than having to link it back in with the system. Look at that, heat shrink, main earth, gas bond, water bond, nice and neat. So yeah, I did this board. Yeah. It wasn't my subbies. No, I did this one because this is nice and neat. But yeah, I must admit, the Luden boards are nice. I'm not part of the gang, or I'm not an ambassador, but it's really nice stuff. Right, let's go outside and have a look at what they did out here. So if you remember from a few weeks ago, there's a 2.5mm supply to the whisker box, storm gland out, and then we did continuum rewire, which you can see with, if you look closely, it's a mixture of metal and plastic cable ties. A little bit of continuum rewire to there, then into the garage. That was the better idea. The other option was channeling down the concrete between the house over here in the corner. The other side, let's have a look, was going to be channeling down under here and over there. I did speak to the client beforehand, what would you prefer? And they didn't mind this. Continuum rewire is a good solution. It is a good solution. It's a good alternative when you can't bury the cable. So outside, outdoor socket, and that armoured cable comes in here all the way along, Bosch down, D-line saddles as usual, into a whisker box, fuse connection unit with a 3 amp fuse in it to do the lights, and then they wanted a socket in here and a bit of tube down out for the socket outside. So yeah, this job is all done. I can send them the invoice and send them a test certificate. But upstairs, same spots in the bathrooms, sockets and switches and stuff like that, USB sockets, everything's all been skimmed and white. I'll have a quick walk up actually, but the plasters are tidying up, so I don't want to get in their way. But yeah, it was 3 of us for 2 days, 3 days, sorry, and then 2 blokes for 2 days afterwards. But I was in Cyprus sunning myself, so I didn't care. But job got done. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you do on your rewires, how long they take. And do you split up the circuits like I've done? Upstairs, downstairs, kitchen, utility, boiler, lights up, lights down, smokes, oven, hob. I've also wired a, I can't see it, but either side of the cabinets I put LED tape supply, or a twin to both sides, and it's just coiled up in the back there. So if or when the client decides to do a kitchen refurb, they've got a supply up there to switch the cabinets. It's all looking nice and clean up here. Everything, again, the bathroom, one side of the switch does those four, and not over there. And then when you flick on the other one, that brings on those two and brings on the fan, which there is an inline fan in the loft. So when the kids want to go to the toilet, flick on this one and it doesn't bring on the fan. And if you want to have a shower, you flick on the lights that are over the shower and it brings on the fan. So you know the fan's going to come on when you're in the shower. Plastering looks lovely. Plastering looks lovely. Looks really lovely. Look at that. All done. I think there's a little bit of filling for the plaster to do, but we've got sockets, Cat 6 points and stuff in all the rooms. There's the big man behind me, Clayton, pro plastering. All looks nice and clean. Look how it looks, so lovely, clean and white in all the rooms. And this is like a spray-on thing that they do. It's mint. And then in the cupboard here, we've got conduit supply for the boiler, a multi-sensor, and the landing. Yeah. Whew. On to the next one.